everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be working on a baby blanket. This is a custom project that a customer asked me to make for her because she is going to be a new grandmother soon and the baby is coming, and she would like to have this project done and given as a gift before the baby comes. This is the first time that I've ever made a baby blanket. It's not difficult necessarily. It would be a great project for anyone that is learning to sew. But for me, I've never made one before, and anytime I'm working on something new, I like to do research and plan out what I need to do exactly. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So stick around and check it out. So my customer pre-purchased her items that she wanted because she initially was going to try to sew the blanket herself, and then she decided to give me a call. So we pretty much have a lot of the things that we'll need. Of course, we'll need thread and different things like that. But we're pretty much good to go from the research that I've done. I've pre-washed the fabric, so that's taken care of. The first thing that I need to do is iron the fabric. Okay, so the fabric has been ironed. It still looks a little wrinkled, but I think it will be okay for now, because of course I will be ironing throughout the project. So on to the next step. To be honest with you, I feel like I say to be honest with you a lot. Anywho, I'm a little nervous about the batting. This right here is freaking me out a little bit. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't, but it is. So, because I've never added batting to anything. I think my biggest concern is if I will have difficulties with my sewing machine sewing the layers, which I have a good sewing machine. It usually sews through thick layers pretty easily. I'm just concerned because I know one of the things that that I saw online when I was doing my research is that you can use a wall. Oh, thank you. How can I help you?
Operations?
Yes. I'm back. Okay, so I had a customer to come in. Surprise customer. Customer's always good. Anywho, so where was I? Caught me off guard. Okay, back to the batting. So when I did my research online, I saw that a walking foot is good for when you're sewing something like this. I'm pretty sure it helps to maneuver the fabric or pull the fabric through the machine as you're sewing. I am going to lay the fabric out, make sure everything is lining up properly. Also, I have to check and see if the trim, this is the trim right here, which is a very pretty trim. I have to make sure this will go all the way around the blanket. If it doesn't, I'll have to go to the store to buy some more. So I guess we will do that first. Well, second, after I lay the fabric out. Luckily, the correct amount of trim was purchased and I won't have to go to the store. And one thing that I didn't consider is that there is a front and back on this trim. And I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that noticeable to someone unless they were just staring really, really hard. But you can tell the difference between the front and the back. I'll try to show it to you. I don't know if you can see the difference, but there is a slight difference between the front and the back. And even though I didn't consider that, which I should have, but I didn't consider it as I was pinning it, it's gonna work out good because the correct side is facing the correct side, or the right side of this fabric. So that's gonna work awesome. So now I am going to take it to my machine and I'm gonna base the trim around, and that will make it easier to manage it when I'm working with all the other layers. To my fitting room because it's more space. Right now I sewed the trim, or based the trim, to the edges of the polka dot fabric, and that went good. It looks good. So next I have to cut this fabric out of, well, not cut the fabric out, but I gotta cut the batting to fit this fabric, which will also go with that fabric. And I know I could measure it. It would probably save me plenty of time, but what I'm gonna do is basically kind of just use it as a pattern, the fabric. Use it as a pattern and just pin around the fabric so I can just cut it out. I'm trying to lay it good. table's not wide enough. In the future, I plan on making my own cutting table. This is just a folding table right here that I can easily put up and down when necessary. But I would love to have a wider table so that when I'm doing a project like this, I don't have to slide the fabric. It'll just lay across easily. So we have it pinned. Now we are going to cut it out. Cutting is the scary part. So as I was doing this, I've noticed that the ends are not cut absolutely straight on the fabric. There's a slight curve in the fabric. I don't know if you notice it. Slightly, not too bad. But we have it matched up. So now I'm gonna lay this fabric on top that has the trim base to it. And hopefully everything will line up correctly. I should have matched both pieces together to make sure that it's pretty even, because if not, if one piece is slightly shorter than the other, then I'm going to have to trim something, which would not be fun, because then that means I may have to take all of this basting off. So we shall see. So it's looking really, really good so far. All I have to do now is top stitch around the edges. But it looks cute. I'm very proud of myself. The only other part after I top stitch around the edges, I have to stitch across, and I'll probably do it horizontally, stitch across the blanket to hold the batting down. So that over there is in here. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Welcome back. It's a new day. You see my clothes have changed. So I have completed the blanket, and unfortunately, I didn't set my camera up so I can show you more of the sewing, but it's pretty straightforward, just sewing straight lines. Honestly, it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be, which I'm very happy about that. I'm not saying it was super easy, because you do have to maneuver with the layers and everything and make sure nothing bunches up. I did have to pull out my seam ripper a couple of times, but overall it was a project that I enjoyed doing, and I would do it again for another customer. Let me see. I think I will do a little bit more research on some different techniques and ways to possibly make it slightly easier, especially when I sew the lines across the blanket to kind of hold all the layers together. So my initial thought was to just sew straight, like 3 straight lines all the way up and down the blanket, but then the fabric started bunching up on me, and it just gave me a hard time, and so I decided to do it in little sections, and I think it came out good. I was looking at my comforter at home, and that's how it was. Most of your comforters are made with little tufts, if that's the correct word. So I think it looks good. I think it looks more fluffy and whatnot. So I like it. I think it's cute. And now for the big reveal. The last day that I will have the blanket. It turned out really pretty, as you saw. I'm excited because my customer is coming to pick up today, and I think she's really gonna like it. I'm not going to record her just for her privacy and everything, and I will speak to her and ask her if it's okay for me to even post this video. I know she's given this as a gift, so I want to make sure I do it after she has given the blanket as a gift. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I'm LaToya, and I'll see you next time.